You're on your way with Joshua Simon and our special guest today. His story, I'm sure, will not only lift you up, but I think it will make you think. I think it will be the kind of story that you relate to your friends and family members, and hopefully it will be putting you on your way to where you need to be. We have Aaron on the show with us right now. Where he started versus where he is now, you would never anticipate it. Aaron, let's just welcome you to the show first.
Thank you very much, Josh. Sorry. Yeah, thank you for having me here. Yeah.
Aaron, take us back to the start. So you went to sports school.
Yes, I was a full-time staff in the Singapore Sports School for 3 years. But however, at the second year, I just felt like I just wanted to do something different. Yeah, and then just wanted to spend more time with my kids. So I just thought that, maybe I can have maybe find another alternative, another career path that allows me to have a little bit more flexible time. Because as you can see from my website, I drive a Land Rover because I love bringing my kids out for picnics, camping trips. So it's just very outdoorsy.
If I had to choose a car and I can't drive, I would choose a Land Rover as well. That's like my dream car. It's not like the fancy, that kind of sports car. I like a Land Rover, a bit of ruggedness, a bit of get on, let's go, big speakers and all that. But let's just start with that, right? You had a full-time job there, pretty stable, because many Singaporeans are facing this right now, where I should not rock the boat. Even though I feel like I want to do something else, my butt itchy a bit, I need to get up. I'm not meant to just do this for the rest of my life. But they're too scared to leave because they're also looking around saying, people are finding it hard to get jobs and everything. What made you say, you know what? Even though I've got wife and kids and bills to pay, it's a risk, I'm going to do it.
Yep. So I think it always goes back to the reason why you started. So I really, really was very focused on being able to spend more time with my kids. And the current job I had, I loved it, by the way, in case my ex-boss is listening right now. But no. But seriously, I really loved it. Formed really, really good relationship with the students, with the parents. But I just felt that if I don't take this leap of faith at the age of 32, I don't do it, then will be too late already. So I better get started lah. Better do something different already. So I started looking around. In my own knowledge, there's only 2 jobs in the world that can give me that kind of flexibility. It's either an insurance agent or a property agent.
Right.
And then I thought to myself, hey, I always host gatherings at my place. I love showing my home. Then I'd be property agent lah, like that lah.
And as simple as that.
As simple as that. And I thought, okay, then let's just do it. But I didn't know the journey to get there was like so crazy. Yeah.
Because I watched something like Selling Sunset and everything. And I'm like, well, I could totally do that.
You should.
Maybe. I have an aunt who's a property agent as well. But fantastic. Then the thing is that they're also, it's totally different from what you did.
Okay.
You were like Singapore Sports School. You know what I mean? So was there that concern of like, but I don't have the skill set?
Okay, I think deep inside me, there's this feeling that, maybe you should just give it a try. I mean, because in Singapore Sports School, my main role was to do recruitment, and I was technically like selling Singapore Sports School to parents and students and their career path and what they should be considering in their secondary school.
So you know how to be the connector. That
in a way,
like, okay,
that's right. So, and I realized I was doing a pretty good job. I mean, like I was able to bring in the top students into sports school. These are top athletes at primary 6 at 12 years old. And I thought, hey, maybe I should transmit this energy or this skill set, or rather this skill set that I have, into something else.
I love that. See, even though nothing to do with property, but you're like, hey, but there are transferable skills.
Yes.
I know how to connect, I know how to communicate, I know how to say, hey, you should meet this person, this is where you ought to be, I can course correct you. So you course corrected yourself, and you ended up going into real estate. Well, unfortunately, course correction, you had a really bad traffic accident, which we will get to, where you almost lost your arm, and there's this video that you uploaded as well that you very vulnerably shared how horrific that moment was for you, and I'm sure your life was never the same after that accident. More with Aaron Teo in just a bit, and he's also part of SuperGaoLat.com. What is Gaolat?
Okay, so
it's not a bad word, right?
No, it's not a bad word. Basically, Gaolat is Hokkien. And if you do the direct translation to Chinese, it means 够力, and 够力 means a lot of strength.
Oh.
Yeah, so like very power.
So that's your branding.
SuperGaoLat Aaron Teo, that's right. So even before they meet me, they already know, wow, this guy must be very power, no? That's the idea.
SuperGaoLat Aaron Teo, am I saying it right?
Yes,
I'm
right.
on with him in just a bit. You're on your way with Joshua Simon. You're on your way with Joshua Simon on Kiss 92, and with us on the show, an OG Kiss 92 fan. So we did a bit of digging on this Aaron Teo. Because I was like, I asked you, is your last name Teo? Because I remember it does sound familiar. So we entered your name into our system.
Oh.
Then all the prizes you won all popped up. They said, wow, this person went from listener to winning prize to now on the show as a guest.
Well, it's a long journey, but yes, I'm here.
And I hear that you were part of one of our contests back in the day as well with Maddie, Jason, and Arnold. So it's like, you're old school OG fan.
Well, this is, I don't know, like, I think 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Because this is my 10th year anniversary with my wife. So the competition we went on was basically called the Perfect Match Challenge. And this was when Kiss 92 just started. I think it's like your first year, and you guys had this competition, and we entered a 1 minute 30 second video of ourselves, and then we got selected as the top 3 contestants to be on the show, to do live competition, and yeah, a lot of stuff. It was quite exciting actually.
You and your fiance then.
Yeah.
And then now
we have 4 kids.
Hey, come on. Come on. How more with Aaron Teo and his incredible story of resilience and turning his life around. A tragic road accident, and his life was never the same again. More with Aaron Teo in just a bit. You're on your way with Joshua Simon. With us on the show right now, he is the SuperGaoLat Aaron. How to say?
SuperGaoLat Aaron Teo.
See, the way you say got a bit of
Of course, it's my branding. I have to. SuperGaoLat.
Is it like, oh, this is very gao, the food?
I mean, you have to add the word lat lah.
Oh.
Super gao, then it's like very thick. Yeah. So I prefer with the gao lat. Then.
Alright, so GaoLat is here on the show. Aaron Teo, he is a real estate agent.
Yes.
But you didn't begin this way. Earlier on, you talked about how you were in Singapore Sports School, and then you turned your life around. You ended up going into real estate. You got 4 kids with your wife, and initially you were an OG Kiss 92 fan as well.
Yes, I was.
Kind of crazy the connection that you have with Kiss 92. But I wanna, if you're comfortable with.
Yep.
There was this video that we came across where you very vulnerably shared about this horrific traffic accident.
Yeah.
Where you almost lost your arm.
Yep.
What happened? How long ago was this?
So, this happened when I was about 4 years ago. Yeah. When I was 30.
Pandemic period, right?
Yes, that's right. It was, to be very specific, it was the lockdown period. So, long story short, I quit my full-time job to take the real estate exams. However, the exams got cancelled 1 week prior. Singapore was on lockdown, DORSCON orange. So, my wife had no job. She's a ballet teacher. So, she had no income. I had 0 income because I left my job at the Singapore Sports School. So, there was no... So, I asked my wife, what should we do now? Or what can I do now where I can apply for the job? I don't care, work hard. And then we can bring in some income because now we got 0 and the only job at that point in time was a Grab food delivery rider. So I applied for the job. Everybody was queuing up for the job. I remember waiting in the hot sun for 3 hours. Got the approval. Okay, and I started working every day, 10 hours a day, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. just like delivering food and parcels. And 3 weeks into the job, I got into a traffic accident. The reason is because the only way you can earn more money as a delivery rider is that you ride faster. So this one is...
it's like a painful, honest truth of it, right?
It is,
obviously,
yes.
that is not safe to do so. But I mean, the math is, you want to complete as many deliveries as possible.
Exactly.
Because you're desperate. You want to earn that money fast.
Yeah.
But that, of course, put your life at risk because you did, unfortunately, end up in a tragic accident.
Yeah. So I was exiting Lentor Avenue, Yishun, and then there was basically no cars on the road. I just rode a little bit too fast, and there was a bend, and when I was turning, I basically just crashed into a wall, and then there were nuts and bolts sticking out of the wall, and it took my arm off. Not off, but it basically tore my arm open.
No.
Yeah, I could see my bone, and blood was everywhere. It's quite crazy to experience that. So immediately, I didn't know what to do. So I just called 995. I mean, that's the instinctive thing to do, to call the ambulance. And I called them and I just asked them where's the nearest hospital.
Wait, so with all that gore, you still reached out to your phone, and was there anyone else that stops, or?
No, it was locked down. There's practically no cars on the road at all. So I couldn't ask for help. The only person I thought of was just calling 995. So I called the ambulance and I asked, where's the nearest hospital? And the guy on the other side, I mean, I don't blame him. He's like, hey, this is not emergency hotline. You cannot call and ask questions. They're like, oh.
You should have straight turn on your FaceTime and they say, bro, you look at my arm.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Right.
But at that moment, the adrenaline is like, then I just clicked it off, and then I like, okay, just focus. What should I do now? Okay, I'm at Yishun. The nearest hospital is Khoo Teck Puat. Let's go. GPS, 12 minutes. Oh my goodness. And I just rode the bike myself all the way to the hospital.
You're bleeding profusely.
Yes, yeah.
And you got on your bike.
Yeah.
After a crash.
And yeah, and just, I think at the moment I was just focusing on like, I gotta get myself to the hospital.
You're in shock in that moment, right? And you just know you needed help. So you did whatever you could. Okay?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Our friend JJ was right. Your story is very different from the usual profiles that we interview here.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Really, really. This is, Jillian, can we like archive this conversation and revisit it as well? Like my jaw is like on the ground. Because it doesn't get any realer than that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You went from Singapore Sports School, Grab delivery driver, to right now 2 Range Rovers, successful real estate agent in just a couple of years. I see both arms very healthy as well.
Yep,
I'm very grateful for you.
I still have the scar though, but it tells a story lah.
Tell me more, Injustice, more with the incredible Aaron Teo. You're on your way with Joshua Simon. Earlier on, dear listener, if you were tuned into the show, you would be on the same page with me. That was probably one of the wildest stories we've ever covered on the show. Our guest here, Aaron, talking us through in detail. Over the pandemic, he was a Grab delivery driver, trying to put food on the table for his wife and kids. They were at zero. Right? So they had to take this job, and you were speeding, which you should not have.
I should not have.
It's like a painful lesson for you. And it was during lockdown, so not many cars on the road. You had a tragic accident where your body slammed against the wall. Your arm was not in a good place. Let's put it that way. It was violent, okay? And you got back on your bike, which is not what we recommend you do. You're supposed to call ambulance straight away. But I understand, it was lockdown. There was no one else on the road, right? So you drove to the nearest hospital. What happened there?
So basically, I remember this scene whereby I just rode straight to the taxi stand, and there's this uncle that works as like the 2-person, okay, next taxi 2-person, and he helps to guide the passengers into the taxis. So when I stopped my bike over there, he's like, "Hey, boy, you cannot stop over here." Then I showed him my arm. I said, "Uncle, I'm gonna die already. I gotta go inside." And then he also kanchiong, he just took the wheelchair. He got me on the wheelchair, and then we went to the main counter, and we were queuing up. And I said, "Uncle, why are we queuing up?" He said, "You need to take temperature." I said, "Uncle, my arm is open. You still want to take temperature?" And then he helped me cut queue and then go all the way in front. And that's not all. So after that, I saw from afar there was a nurse that was coming to me. I was like, okay, our medical staff coming over should be quite safe already. When the nurse came over to me, she's like, is everything okay? And when she saw my arm, she's like, "You!" She gave that face. And I'm like, even the medical staff can't even give me comfort. And I was so like kanchiong, so nervous, hoping that she can give me some hope. But no, at that moment, everybody's kanchiong. It was pandemic, everybody in PPE, tentages, everybody wearing masks. It was frantic everywhere. So I became like not important. People who are important in the hospital at that point of time is if you have fever and if you are like coughing. Yeah, so COVID, and then you accident. You sit over here. Don't worry, you're okay. And
wild. Even though you had just slammed against the wall at high speed.
Yeah, and my bone was just exposed. Yeah, I could see the bone on my arm. So yeah.
Well, I can see the scar.
Yeah.
There you
go.
That is you wear that unfortunately as a lesson, as a reminder.
I take it as a story lah. As like, if people ask me, "Hey, what happened to your arm?" Then if my story can help them gain some sort of strength, I think that's good lah. Yeah.
And you ended up going into real estate. Obviously, you've done very well for yourself.
Thank you.
And people that go through tragedies, right? Not all of them come out of it smiling and they get to turn their life around. And I'm so grateful that whether it's, I don't know if it's just in you, your willpower, or maybe your wife's support as well. But you were like, no, my life doesn't end here. I'm going to get up. I'm going to keep going.
Yep.
You ended up doing real estate. You ended up doing really, really well. And I'm very happy for you. I really am very happy for you. And I'm so grateful that we're able to sort of amplify your story, and you're inspiring people with your platforms as well. So, yeah.
Thank you. I mean, since I'm on air right now, I just want to say, like, I wouldn't have done it without my wife, because during this whole season of being in sports school, leaving sports school, taking a real estate exam, failing like 2 times, and then like cancellation, missing the slots because it was oversubscribed, and failing again, and on the 6th try, finally passing, Cheryl has never once complained. And it's always love and support, and it's like, don't worry, I'll support you. You just do what you want to do what you need to do, and I'll take care of the family. And it has always been like that. And without her, I don't think I'll be able to go through this whole season. So yeah, thanks, man, Cheryl. Love you.
Thanks, man, he said. This is the template, the relationship that we should aspire for. Thank you so much, Aaron, for joining us on the show. Show him some love at SuperGaoLat. Can you please say, I don't know how to say this.
SuperGaoLat, Aaron. So it's www.supergaolat.com.
Yay!